as we get into it, very first, let's, as in every class, what I do is we gather ourselves and first we want to find our own self, right? As we get into it, right? Very first, okay, as in every class. Okay, so let's first take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Focus only on your breathing, your inhalation, your exhalation. And as you breathe in and out, I will say 3 ohms. Anybody wants to say it with me, you're more than welcome. As you breathe in and as you exhale, you say your ohm. Om. 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 I thank the universe. I thank all my teachers, my gurus, and I thank all my students, all of you, my parents, to make me the medium to heal and help myself. Healing my body, my soul, my mind. Thank you. Great. So generally, that's how I start every class. We all start with prayers. We all start with knowing that we all can help each other. And the best way is to discuss. And today, the discussion is all about infection. Now, anybody can tell me why have you joined thinking, what are you going to learn about infection today? Anybody?
I'm just, I don't want to say you're a junkie, but I'm just your fan. So whenever there's anything, I say I'll join. So I don't care what
Thank
time
you.
it is. I don't care which day it is. If I don't have a scheduled meeting, I will join. So
Thank you. Thank you. And that's why I'm happy to see you, Deepika ji. Yes. Yes, Jen, you had something?
Oh, I was just thinking from our previous conversations about how to help our bodies to fight infections and to heal.
Right. Right. So, anybody else? Do you have a
Well,
reason?
well, the reason I'm joining is, I'm trying to find a more medicine free. And I enjoy the mudra because remember I had spoken to you about the mudra for diabetes and how it helps. So it's encouraging me to learn new things like you can solve something without medicine. So that
Without
is
medicine.
the reason I'm joining.
True, true. Okay, Hansa ji is saying, I would like to learn about infection since I had infection for a long time. Yes, true. So many of us are joining in, either we are suffering from something or someone else, our loved one, or just in general, because infection is something that is very, very common. And we all should know, we all must know that how we can prevent infection, right? And what is the cause of infection? When do we get infected? Or what do you think is infection? Is it something that we can avoid, or is it something that is not avoidable? So we will have an interactive class because I just don't want to get you guys bored with my voice.
Well, I think infection, if you take enough precautions, can be mitigated. I don't know if you can totally get rid of it, but if you mitigate the circumstances, do all due diligence, there's less chances of getting a lot of infection.
Okay. Yes. Anybody else? Right? So infection is not something that you can avoid completely in your lifetime. Correct. Infection is what? It's either bacterial, it's fungal, it's viral. It can be something, and we all carry something on our body every day, but they can be harmless because we are surrounded by all these germs and microbacterial and microbes and microorganisms and everything. But sometimes when we have something that is the body does not want and that's overloaded with it, then what happens is we get infection. And it can be infection of your skin, on your skin, it can be infection on the eyes, your ears, your throat, any organ. But the infection starts with some kind of media, right? Like something is medium to have that infection go into our body. And that is through breathing, water, correct? Or a touch. It can be anything, or food. So when we get infected, what happens to our body is there is an imbalance in the body. Imbalance of whatever elements it could be affecting, or mainly because there is something that is not being handled by our bodyguards in the body, right? All our because our body, the blood does have those safety guards where we can say that they can fight it back. And in order to have that infection go away, what we need to do, the first thing is to become more extra immune power, right? And our immunity is also not always something like, no matter, some people might get infected, no matter how much they take care of themselves, no matter how clean they are staying, no matter they are constantly wiping everything, washing their hands, making sure they are away from everything, but still there is something that is there in the air and we cannot stop breathing, right? And that is where we can get infection from too. There can be infections that is post-delivery, that is, we call it, that it happens after you're born immediately. And some things are called pre-birth. So what that means is that you're carrying it from your parents. It comes in your genes, or you have carried it because your mom or your dad or someone in the family tree had something. And that's why there are different kinds of things that we can see that people suffer from. But what we are going to do in today's class is not about going deep into how did we get the prenatal and postnatal infection, or how we can do that, but the common ways of helping ourselves to keep ourselves free from infection, or when we get infected, how to treat ourselves. And that different ways of doing it will be through seed therapy, color therapy, acupressure, mudras, diet. So now most of us, we know that in this today's world, right now, in the present situation, there is, after the COVID situation, we're still having all these viral infection happening. And now we are seeing more growth of the same infection happening, just that it is not fatal, right? We still see people suffering from COVID. We do see the after effects of the COVID. And now that virus has become more smarter. So after the COVID has been, we are cured from it, but the after effects, the aftermath that we call, is still there. Like some people, they are having issues in their lungs. Some people lose smell. Some people have kind of memory loss, or like they are not as functional they feel as they used to be. And these are the symptoms that we see after the infection, correct? And that is the reason why we want to first think about how do we make our body stronger, and how can we fight to the best of our capacity. Also, we want to see if something happens to our body, how should we treat our body so we can get rid of that infection and we can feel better faster without medication or with less medication. If anybody has any questions so far, I can stop and then continue again. No, all good. Okay. Now, there are different kinds of infection, and first we will start to understand. Let me see. Yes, someone was talking. Anybody wanted to say something? No, not this. Not this. What am I looking for? This is... Okay, guys, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We can see.
Okay, so I have these small notes that I have made, which I will share with you guys, and you will see the recording also. What is... One second, someone just trying to...
Sorry, it's just me. I'm trying to join from my computer so I can see
Oh,
it.
okay, okay. Got it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, so let's try again. Go. To symbols. I'm not Zoom savvy, so sometimes I might not be able to do something right. So, but what I wanted to talk to you about, like we talked, infections are disorders of organisms such as bacteria, viruses, fungi, or parasites, right? What is bacteria? These are one-cell organisms, and they're responsible for illness such as strep throat, urinary tract infection, and tuberculosis. What are viruses? Even smaller than bacteria. And that is why we cannot treat viruses by giving you some medication. Usually, you have to let that virus leave your body by taking lots of fluid, resting, things like that, right? And I'll talk about it a little bit more. Fungal infection generally happens on skin diseases, and they are such as ringworm, athlete's foot, caused by fungi, or anything that is infect on your lungs or your nervous system. And what are parasites? That is malaria caused by tiny parasite that is transmitted by mosquito bite, and other parasites may be transmitted to humans from animal feces. Now, there are certain things that I have put in here that you will see. But what I wanted you to understand is there are so many different kinds of infection. And when we talk about bacterial infection, we have to go to the doctor, get the antibacteria. Now, how do we treat naturally? That is the reason why we are in this class. So yes, we can go to the doctor for fungal infection, for bacterial infection, for viral infection, every infection. You can go to a doctor, to a dermatologist, and you will get some kind of medicine, lotion, something to apply. But we are going to talk about natural ways. The very first natural way that I'm going to talk to you about is uh, something on the kitchen, in your kitchen, and something that's so easy to take. If you want, you can write this down. Take half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, add a tinge of black pepper. So you can take crushed black pepper on it. If your infection is just simple, something that you feel I might get infected, but you're not actually suffering from anything. But this one thing, turmeric powder with tinge of crushed black pepper with honey, when you take this, any kind of bacterial, viral, swelling, edema, anything inside your body, outside your body, is going to start helping you to get rid of that because it's a natural antibacterial product. Turmeric has that. The chemical reaction with the turmeric of the black pepper enhances the power to heal. In Indian community, usually from the childhood, we are given one warm glass of milk added with turmeric powder and crushed black pepper. I'll give you an example. My grandson had a very bad penicillin reaction when he was suffering from cough and cold 2 years ago. So his cough and cold would never go. Every time he would catch it. So we had to keep giving him. And the same medication that he was being given suddenly one time got into a reaction, which was very bad. And that led him to, we had to take a lot of precaution. It took him about 6 months to 9 months to get over it and get really better. Of course, because, when parents are young, the first thing they want to do is and I understand we have to get to the doctor. That was an emergency. But I was trying to explain that we need to start giving him this turmeric powder and all. So after about 9 months, when he was completely okay, all his medications were stopped. We started with turmeric powder with the crushed black pepper, boiled well in water, very small portion of water, and then added his milk, made the milk warm, and made him drink warm milk every day. It's been 2 years. Even if he gets cough and cold, it's barely for a day, and it's gone easily. So this one particular thing made my family believe. So now everybody takes that warm milk, which is a tradition in most of the Indian houses, especially in India. Okay, so that is one thing. Now, if you have cough and cold, and if you are coughing a lot, you might feel that the coughing is because you might have indigestion or something that has affected your indigestion, and that can also cause cough and cold, coughing. So what you do to the same solution, you add ginger. You take fresh ginger, grate it, take this juice out. So you take 2 to 3 drops of ginger, add to the same solution that you were taking of turmeric powder with black pepper, add ginger, and now add the honey to it and take and then see. Because a lot of times what you will see is you are constipated because the way you were eating or something you ate, you will start feeling more bowel movements, but then suddenly you will start feeling more cleaner and more better, more healthier. Ginger, just ginger, ginger with honey is also very good for any kind of viral infection. So when you take ginger, you take either the fresh ginger and you take it with honey, or you take grate it and take the few drops of ginger and then add honey to it and take it. If you have viral fever, infection, all these things will start helping. Now, holy basil is also one of the very good herbs to be used during viral fever or any kind of fever. Holy basil, you can actually put it in water and boil it. So if you have half a cup of water, you take 3 to 4 holy basil, put it in the water, let it boil nicely and come to quarter, so half of the water, and then you can strain that and you can have it just that water, or you can add it with honey. Okay, so these are small tips, but very, very effective. You can make infusion in your water by just adding some lemon and holy basil and ginger in your water, and you can keep on sipping it all the time, especially during the change of seasons, because seasonal change in changes allergies, and during that time what you feel is going to be something that we get irritated, because as soon as the season changes, we start having some issues with our body. Okay, so these are simple things that will help. Can we take it in a larger batch and store it in the fridge? It will be effective, definitely, but when you want to store it, I wouldn't infuse it. I would boil it, cool it down, and then keep it in the fridge. Because infused water is that the slow effect of it getting into the water and you're sipping slowly every time. So that's an infused water is very helpful. But if you want to store it, then you want to put everything in double quantity. But whatever you are taking, the amount, you make sure that the water is half, and then you filter it, and then you can have it, because you don't want it to become fungal. Okay. Okay. So these are simple, common things for infection. Now let's come to something that in particular for infection. Now say for eyes, we do get eye infection. We get styes in our, eyes. A lot of people get regular stye. Every 3-4 months they get a stye, and they have to go to the doctor, and the doctor tells them to put some drops or apply some cream on it, and that's how they have to suffer, because it's very painful. But very simple thing, very, very simple thing is color therapy. And this has worked wonders for many of them. And you can give it a try if anybody is suffering from any kind of eye infection or a stye, even a stye. Okay. For dry eyes, usually the stye or any infection in the eyes happen because of dryness in the eyes. And for that, we all know, or if you don't know, we all have a pointed part of the protruding part of our thumb. That is our nose. And then 45 degrees from that tip, we put 2 dots, which is actually your eyes, which are your eyes. Okay. Okay, because I was trying to do like this, so it went a little wrong. So I'm trying to correct it. but you guys can correct your eyes. Make sure like it's your tip and 45 degrees both ways. You can see a green color, dark green color. You can apply that dark green color on the eyes, and then for the infection, you're going to circle it with black color. What I'm showing you right now, please note it or write it or whatever, because not everything is in the notes. I've tried to do more practical so you can see it and you can use it. Okay, so this is for eyes. Now, what about ears? We get a lot of ear infection too, right? And many times the ear infection can be, the root cause may be very different. It could be because of the kidneys, it could be because of your jaws, your teeth, anything. There can be a lot of different reasons where you can get ear infection, or it can be because your eardrums could not handle the wind. And that's why it's very important that in winter, especially in Chicago, we should cover our ears. Anywhere where it is very windy, we must cover our ears because our eardrums are delicate and we may get ear infection too often because the protection that is around your eardrums are getting affected, right? So when we get ear infection, what can we do to do for the ear infection? Anybody has some tips for me too? One. January. It's okay. You can also have some, that's the thing I learned from people too. Because
We've
sometimes
been very lucky that we've never really suffered with ear infections.
that's
So
that's
very
wonderful.
grateful.
Yes, yes. And it's very, very important because all our sensory organs are very, very important for us. And it's very important that we keep our sense organs very healthy. Without one of them, we can suffer a lot, right? We can feel a lot. The same thing for ears we can do is for the infection of the ears, just like our eyes, we have, if this is our nose, then our ears are of course going to be like in here, right? So how is our mouth? Our nose is here, the tip of the nose, and then if you go in line, then here are the eardrums, right? They are inside, but the ears are here. So you go in line from the tip of that thumb and right here on both sides. Either you can do pressure, you can apply good pressure, or again, for infection, you always use black color. Okay, so in the same way, you can apply black color here, or as a seed therapy, you can take any kind of seed. You can take mustard seed, you can take methi seed. Methi is fenugreek seed. You can take any small seed that is available to you, and you can apply it on the side of the thumb. Okay. So I'm going to talk about the sensory organs and then we'll move on. So we did the eyes, we did the ears. Now we are going to talk about the nose. With the nose, what happens is sometimes we feel that infection is in the nose, but is it actually in the nose? Nose is just a way of getting your things out, right? Or breathing in. So most of the infection can go through the nose, but not exactly the nose until you have nose polyps. Other than that, most of the infection is because you have sinuses, correct? And that sinuses can cause a lot of dripping, running nose. It can cause many different things. Now here, when the infection happens and you feel it's the nose, you can definitely put a black color on the tip of the nose right here. Okay, You can definitely put that on the nose, on the protruding area, and it can start immediately stop. If you don't do that, you can also take a black pepper seed, like you can take a whole black pepper seed and you can tape it to the nose right here. Okay. And sometimes, like if you don't get, like, I'll tell you a good example. So when my daughter was at work, someone had so much runny nose that the person was getting irritated. So immediately she said that, Mom, can I use crushed black pepper? Because, in the kitchen, you will generally have salt and pepper. So she had the crushed black pepper and she goes like, can I do that? I said, sure. So she took the black pepper, sprinkled it all over the tape, and she taped it around the whole area here. And her coworker said that, oh my God, you did some magic. In 5 minutes, her running nose stopped and she was feeling good. So this is a good way of stopping. Now, when I say do this and you do, would you stop doing this immediately because you're feeling better? So at least do it after you feel better. Continue it for at least 2 to 3 days. So any small particles left of those organisms, of those infectious diseases, are gone from that system. Okay. So anywhere when you can use seeds, you can use colors, or you can use the pressure wherever I showed you all these areas. We did the nose, eyes, ears, and now the throat, right? And the throat infection is something that is constantly happening because a lot of times it goes to the throat because it has already started going it from the nose. Maybe something has already happened in your upper cavities and now it's going into your throat. It could happen in your jaws, in your teeth, the cavities of your teeth, something, and then it's going into your throat because that is where now it is going, and then you get the irritation. So the throat area is here, okay? But for all viral infection, I'm going to give you a color therapy, which generally I also share on our Learn and Heal group all the time, if you all are on that group. So I'm going to show you the color therapy if you have forgotten. So what mainly you're going to do is you're going to use your index finger and your small finger. And you're going to apply colors on all of it. And this is very good and very helpful for any kind of viral infections happening anywhere on your body. So even during COVID, we used this and it was helping a lot. So the first one is we take a light blue color, and the light blue color will be on the bottom joint. Okay. Both fingers, bottom joint. So this is called the cuff joint. So a lot of times when I write something in the Learn and Heal, K joint, meaning cuff joint, which is always at the bottom of the fingers. Okay. So now slowly you guys are learning even the Ayurvedic part of it. Then on the second joint, you will do the green. Second joint of both fingers, you will do the green, and it will be in circle like this, front and back, both. And on the top, the second joint is called the Pitta joint, which is P, Pitta joint. And the top joint is called the Vata joint, which is the V. So basically, this is how this infection disease is viral infections are cured, because this 2 fingers will help to get rid of most of the infection in your body also.
I'm
Now,
sorry, can I interrupt for a second?
sure,
The bottom joint, the cuff joint, it was light blue.
yes,
The pit joint was
dark
dark
green,
green,
yes.
and I didn't get the top one.
Vat joint, Vat, V.
And what
Vat
color was
joint
that?
is black,
Black. Thank you.
yes. So now we will talk about, this is just viral infection. Now, also on your thumb, and many times you will see that I give multiple colors in, I give you 2, 3 colors to circle it. Sometimes I give you to circle one color and then do the other color and then do the other color. So those are the things, but whenever I have infection, if someone talks about infection, black color is the very good color for any kind of infection. If you get fever, you can put black dot on all tips of your fingers and on, this is called the yang ring. So every finger below the nail, right in the center, you will put a black dot, and the fever should come down slowly. None of this is that you can stop going to the doctor, but this in addition will help to heal. And what will happen is any kind of infection in your body will be removed. Okay, so that is why this is the color therapy I'm giving you. You can also do, if someone feels like you got food poisoning and suddenly someone starts feeling low, they start perspiring, become pale, black color on all joints of your fingers. Black circle on all joints of all fingers and the thumb will help to remove the poisonous effect. If you have to take them immediately to the doctor, please do, because poison can be poison, but continue to do this and it should start to help, at least to get some, we can buy some time on that. Now, sometimes we get microbial infection, which is called worms in the stomach or anywhere. So the best way to treat is, you put a black color here on the thumb, all in circle everywhere, okay? Again, if you don't understand anything, black color on all finger joints will help. So black color is very important when you get infected. You continue to do that because infection is always very deep. And when it goes into your blood, it's very hard to take it out of that system. And that is why a lot of times you have to continue to keep doing it. Now, every time we cannot do the color therapy, right? People are going to be like, what is in your hands? Why did you do this? What is going on? So we do need to have something that we can work on. So again, I come to the things that we can do from the kitchen. You can have the ginger and honey. Garlic is a very good anti-infection thing. 7 days of garlic treatment, which I have told many of them, but I'll tell it here again. 7 days of garlic treatment. You take first thing in the morning. You take a fresh clove of garlic, fine chop it, put it on on a spoon and let it oxidize for 5 minutes. Then add honey to it and swallow. Not to chew, but to swallow. You do this for 7 days consecutively. You will start seeing much better results if you have muscle pain, if you have body aches, if any kind of infection in your body, you will start feeling the difference. Now, one of my patients who had MS, the person came at a very almost at a stage, and the person was almost 70 plus. I told that I cannot do much, but one thing I would say is start with garlic and tell me how you feel. The person was just like gone crazy and was, can I do it every day? Please, can I do it every day? And I said, with you, you can. But when others are doing, any of us, we do it for 7 days, we stop it, then we continue it again after 15 days or 3 weeks. Again, we do it for 7 days and we stop it. The reason is because you cannot do something too much to your body. Your body starts getting immune to it and it will not work then, right? So again, all these things you must remember to do it and not to just replace it. But if you are most, like I take minimum medicine, the reason is because as soon as I feel something, I treat it right away. So then it is not necessary for us to go and get the medication. But sometimes we all are human and we all come, even a cardiologist can get a heart attack, right? We cannot avoid that. In the same way, even if we are therapists, we know everything. Things happen, it's life, and we have to go to the doctor. So we have to take the whatever medicines are out there to help us. But with it, if we do all these other things to remove all the um, residues of that side effects of the medicine, right? So now I'll give you another one point that is called GV14. Whoever knows over here, I know some of you know my acupressure points, so you might know, but GV14 is a very good point for any kind of infection in your body. And GV14 is right here in the center of the thumb, right here. You know, the joint, and then it's right here. I have my hand. Okay. Okay. So GV14 is one of very good points for infection. Okay. Now, if you have, now I'll come to some mudras. Other infections like UTI, especially ladies get UTI a lot, right? It's very important that we drink a lot of water. When it comes to water, I want to just go back a little bit and let you guys know. Any kind of infection, first thing should be lots and lots of water. Not iced, not cold, but room temperature or at least lukewarm water. You should constantly take, it will flush out a lot. You might have a lot of bathroom visits, but that will actually help to flush out the infection. So even in UTI, when you get UTI, usually it comes out to be a fungal infection. And for UTI, you can do right in the center here is the pressure point. You can apply a seed like a dry pea. You can take a dry pea and apply it, just paste it over here, or put a green color circling it with black. You take a green color and circle it with black. Okay. So with that, when you have something from the kitchen, very good thing is rice water. And I don't know if everybody knows what rice water is. You cook rice, not in the cooker, or if you do it in the cooker, make sure you have more than needed water in the rice. You strain out the water of that extra water, put some very little salt, not even a pinch, but very little salt and lemon, stir it and drink it. This helps in UTI. Other thing you can do is you can take a tape and on it sprinkle some salt and you apply it right where I showed you to put your seed. So you can apply it here. You can apply the black color and you can apply the salt on it, and that should also help with the UTI. Okay. Any kind of lung infection is always on this part of your hands. So you massage here, and where you find the pain points, that is where you will apply a seed. Now, you said your son has narrowing of the SI, and they are going to do the endoscopy and everything. So here, what we are looking at is that we want that part to become a little bigger, and we need it to open. And for that, I would suggest you to do on your right, on his right little finger, right here, you put a purple color, violet or purple, whatever you call it. It's that is where you will put it. Okay. And on your ring, on his ring finger, on the side, on his ring finger to the side, towards facing the small middle finger. So when I'm showing you the ring finger on the side that is facing the middle finger, you will put a huge purple color line, like
And that's on his left hand?
both hands.
Both hands. Okay.
Yes.
He's going to look at me like I'm nuts today, but I'm going to do it.
Well, this things work slowly, but this is going to, and again, you know, this is for the time that we are waiting for the results to come. At least till then, if he gets some relief, then that's going to help, right?
I
So
never want to see him in that kind of pain again.
exactly. So
Thank you.
so when you do the purple color on the side, on the middle finger, do the black color. Side of the middle finger, do the black color. So black color is always for any kind of infection. So a lot of people have allergies and allergic reactions. So the middle finger on the side, if you do a black color, usually that's easy to hide. Nobody knows there is a black color on the side of your ring finger or the middle finger. So you can always do that for allergic. A lot of people having allergies. Okay, now we come to anybody has any question or anybody wants to ask about any other infection or anything that we can take it easily in this class. No?
Do you have a recommendation for yeast infections?
Yeast infection. So yeast infection, it depends where you're having that infection. Okay. if usually yeast infections happen in our private parts, and that is where it happens, and that is why our correspondence to it is over here or anywhere between this area. So if you find any painful areas, you will do exactly the same thing you do for UTI. I'll give you some aromatherapy oils recommendations also. Tea tree is a very good anti-infection oil. Tea tree. Lot of fungal infection that happens on the nails for people. You add tea tree oil, add some rosemary oil to it and lavender to it. With all these three, usually essential oils are not used directly without any kind of base oils. So, but these three, when you combine it and then with a dropper, you just put a drop and let it soak there for a little bit, and then soak your feet or your finger wherever the fungal infection is in warm water, and then wash it nicely. And then after washing, again apply that oil and let it stay there. This has given very good results to remove the fungal infection from the toes, mostly toes, because people are wearing closed toe shoes. Here we have winter, they wear socks, they have to stand on their feet for long. So these things happen a lot. Any other question anybody has? Someone just messaged something, 1 second. GV14, not 13, GV14, that is over here in right, like you take your thumb and it's right in the center, this bone, that is called GV14, and you can put a methi seed there or a black color regularly. Okay. Any other that I might have? This is something I wanted to bring as a common thing. Other thing I have told in many classes, whenever you're traveling out right now, because we have a lot of infection, if you're traveling in crowd, I suggest everybody, this increases your immunity and this helps to fight infections. So right in the center of here, after your knuckles, that is your first point. It's a black color. After that first point, you take your thumb, measure. Oh, sorry. Can you see me measuring? Yeah. Measure with your thumb, and where your thumb ends is your second dot. Then what you do is from the first dot, you take 4 fingers, and where your 4th finger ends is your 3rd dot. The first dot is right where your knuckles end, between the fingers. Black, then you measure it with your own thumb. Distance is here. And then from your first dot, you measure 4 fingers of your own, and your 4th finger is your 3rd dot. Whenever you, and all these protocols that I am giving you are already been used and given the feedback, and that is how I'm giving you all these, because they do work. They do work in the intensity of the capacity of your body, or how intense your body is suffering from something. So some people, that might be like in 2 days, they feel better. Some people may think that it's taking too long for me to feel better. But if you continue to keep doing, it's going to keep helping you slowly but surely.
But the travel one is really good. I like using
Yes.
the one, I use it every time I get on a plane or go anywhere.
Yes.
It's
That
really
one,
good.
yes. Many people have given me that feedback.
Is
Yes.
that
Well,
on
we
both hands?
Both hands. Yes. Yes. Okay. So quickly before then I can open up for any other question I can definitely answer. Now I'm coming to mudras. Mudra is a hand gesture, the way we put our hands, how we hold our fingers in a certain position, and how it helps. The best mudra for any kind of infection, any kind of disease is Apan Vayu Mudra, which is you take your finger, index finger touches the bottom of your thumb. You have already holded it like this. Now, the middle finger and the ring finger both touches the tip of the thumb. So only your little finger is sitting like this. This. You do this with both hands regularly. And in the whole day, you start with 5 minutes, go to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but in the whole day, 45 minutes. And it's really going to help you in many, 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 many different things. Many different things, especially even if you have any kind of infection. Recently, one of my niece, she was admitted to hospital for pneumonia and she was not stopped. She was coughing so much that she couldn't sleep. And I told her, just do this whenever you fall asleep, just let it be. You will fall asleep with this mudra only, but you will get good sleep. As soon as she starts coughing, she does this. So when I called her in the hospital, she goes like, don't worry, Aunt. All what I do is as soon as I feel something, I start doing this and I start feeling better. She starts to calm down. And the reason is because this mudra is controlling 3 different elements. And the 4th element is our thumb, which actually helps to keep the balance in the body. And as soon as it balances the Vat, Pitta, and Kapha, and it goes into the main system of our body, it will start to manage to help the body to get in harmony. Okay. Another mudra is called Pran Mudra, which is both little finger and the ring finger, and you touch the thumb. This helps if you have asthma, if you are taking a pump, it's fine. But if it's not handy and you do this mudra, if you feel you're not breathing enough, you do this mudra for 10 minutes, you will start seeing that you're breathing better. You will start feeling like, oh my God, I think I'm getting more oxygen in my body. And whenever there is more oxygen, enough oxygen in your body, infections will go away. Right? It helps because now your body gets more oxygen. It can make better. Okay. 2 mudras. Now I'm going to give you a Varun mudra for dry cough. And Varun mudra is you take your ring finger, your little finger, and you do like this. So it's like, shooting. This should help in dry cough. Okay. If you don't remember this, at least do this. These are some mudras that when you don't remember, but when sometimes you start remembering and you do it, you will see the difference. Like Bhavna gave me a feedback a couple days ago because she had attended my mudra classes long time back, but she remembered it and then she started doing. So Apan Mudra. I told you Apan Vayu Mudra, which is for all. Apan Mudra is for diabetes. So it will bring your A1C down quickly. Apan mudra cannot be done by pregnant women. Remember that, please. Apan mudra. This is the mudra that cannot be done by pregnant women because it can affect, because it works more into your pancreas and the pelvic areas. So the pregnant woman shouldn't do it. Okay. Questions? And anything, any feedback? Yes, no, nothing, no feedback?
It was very good. Learned a
Wonderful.
lot.
I'm still processing.
Well, because the reason I'm asking is that if you guys feel this is informative and if you guys feel this is helping in any ways, I would like to continue to take a class every month on certain one disease or something that can help and in many different ways, right? Say, for example, we can have a class on diabetes, we can have a class on fibroids, we can have a class on anything that you think of. But if I know what you are interested into, then it's easy for me to prepare the class information, class material. Any other? Everybody, did you actually enjoy the class? Did you feel this was informative enough
Very.
for the
Definitely.
for the basic of infection?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
It
Awesome.
was very good.
Okay.
I do have a question. You were talking about the rice water.
Yes.
I was told that I don't know if this is true, but for probiotics, they say that people take probiotics. Instead of that, you can just take the rice water, leave it overnight, and
Fermented
put
rice water. Yes. If
you
you
just
know,
put like some cumin, like powder and stuff with a little bit of salt and have it in the morning. And it's really good for your digestion. And for people who have trouble, they are told to take probiotics. Is that correct?
so yes, that is correct. Again, if you know how to create that fermented water, then yes, because a lot of times people don't know exactly how many hours. So if you have a recipe to it properly to be made, then you can do it. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Because when you do the fermentation, you have to have enough um, hours. You have to have the perfect hours of fermenting. So
Okay.
lot of times the fermentation, what happens in, say, I will tell you that take it and ferment it for 10 hours because Chicago is cold. But you're in Florida, and when Florida is not cold, as cold as Chicago, you might need the fermentation hours less than us.
Okay. Because
Make sense?
somebody told me to, like at night, just put it in like a little, container.
Yeah,
And when you wake up in the morning, just put some cumin and a little bit of salt, and it's good for like probiotics.
right. So again, the reason why I don't give that is when we read all this, when we go on Google's, why Google Doctor is not good. Because a lot of things are in generalization, but say, for example, your sleep time is 9 o'clock, but my sleep time is 10 o'clock.
Right.
If we both are in Florida and my sleep time is 10 and yours is 9, your wake up time might be 5 o'clock, but my wake up time might be 6 o'clock or maybe 8 o'clock. Now my fermentation is different. The hours
Okay.
of fermentation is different, right?
Okay. So basically, because I was just somebody told me to do that for probiotic. They
Yes.
said, why don't you try,
You can
doing this. So
try,
they
it
said
won't
just do it
harm you.
overnight. But yeah, so all of that matters is what I'm trying. So
Yes.
okay.
Yes, you can do that, but at the same time, you have to make sure, like, you try it, and if you feel there is something that is not working, then make sure that your fermentation time is different or less or more, whatever it is.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Cool. Everybody okay? Yes, thank you everyone for joining. I really appreciate. I really hope that you guys can put some feedback on the group so people know whether they would like to join or not. But thank you all for joining. Have a wonderful day and stay healthy, stay blessed, and keep smiling.
Thank you.
Thank
Sue.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.